I saw this really fun. So I want to bring this up because I saw this really funny thing where I've been seeing a little bit more often. I feel like you see it too much almost, where you see these bands and they're telling stories about how they got robbed and they're setting up
Yeah.
like an Indiegogo or a GoFundMe to like replace all their equipment and shit like that. Or they'll do the thing. They'll just post their fucking merch store incessantly, which I completely understand. I'm not shitting on it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been seeing bands get robbed more, and I saw this. I saw this post. This made me laugh. And I actually want to post this because, if anyone in a band's watching this, like, yo, do this. Like, it's funny, but also fucking do this. But so someone posted this. They said bands got to start putting shit like this on their trailer so nobody breaks in. I think Throwdown used to have like something about transporting snakes on their trailer. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And this says this container transports a disease which has no cure. Which is funny, but also funny enough that someone breaking in is going to be like, yeah, I don't know about all that. But here's the picture of the Throwdown trailer that they referenced.
Yeah.
Like, dude, fucking do that. If
Brilliant.
you're in a band, fucking do it. Because here's the thing, like, a lot of these bands, they don't have a lot of money. They don't, they're probably going to have trailers, unfortunately, that are, if there's a fucking, whoever the fuck it is, criminal, drug addict, whatever, that wants to get in your fucking trailer, if they're determined enough, they're going to get fucking in your trailer. And most of these bands probably, they probably don't have some high-tech lock system. Dude, it's the same reason why people will put an ADT flag out in front of their yard, or they'll put a beware of dog sign when they don't have a security system and they don't have a fucking dog, or they'll put, put like an American flag and something letting people know you love the Second Amendment. People will
We don't
not
call 911.
Yeah, dude, for real. And it's like that. People, I love little workarounds like this, and this, because here's what you're banking on. You're banking on the criminal pausing for a second and going like,
they're pausing. They go, "How the fuck am I going to sell a snake?
Who the fuck am I selling snakes to?
How the fuck am I going to offload a snake? What is that?"
Yeah, but yeah, for people listening on audio, yeah, I guess Throwdown.
Oh yeah,
did you ever listen to Throwdown?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like they were kind of one of those things. I like probably the ones that were like on compilations and stuff like that, but I never really gave them a deep dive, really.
Yeah, I feel you. I never disliked a Throwdown song I ever heard, but I never got, like you, I never got deep into them. But for people listening to the audio, it's just their van and their trailer, and it's got a picture of a sweet looking cobra, and it says Snake Farmers of America, California, breeding since 1981. Warning: live venomous reptiles inside.
That's the key.
Which I think is way better than the infectious disease label, because this is substantially more believable, and it's a type of thing that, because you're not getting you're getting like low level criminals who are trying to like steal your shit, and this is the kind of thing that a low level criminal is gonna see and is not gonna take the chance with.
Very rarely are these, I think, these thefts or break-ins or anything like that, like motivated directly toward the band. Like you said, a lot of times they are like drug addicts or homeless people or something like that. That are, it's like it's not random in the sense that like they are just breaking into. They're thinking that there's lawn equipment. There's like a trailer like this, it could haul anything. But if you specifically put something on there that is not desirable, like bees or other shit, but be very careful, especially with the infectious disease thing or any kind of medical or biohazard thing, because sometimes, if they're a drug addict, they're going to be like, well, there's probably either drugs in there, needles, or something that I can use or get some kind of value. Always go animals or like some kind of like septic service, like a septic service would be really smart. Or like something where you're like, well, even that would like, there's machinery. This is actually perfect because like again, how the fuck are you gonna sell a snake? Like, what the fuck? It has no real street value except for unless somebody's looking for a specific snake that is in there, which you can't because there's no snakes. It's just ants.
And on the flip side, you were saying about putting like some sort of medical or chemical thing on there, and you could have homeless people or drug addicts being like, oh, I could get drugs or needles or some shit. Also, be careful because there is this thing called DOT, Department of Transportation, and they
Yeah.
are no. I work in warehouses with truckers and stuff. I'm very familiar with DOT, but DOT they are very particular about the labels on your trucks when you're transporting hazardous material. So if you have it saying there's hazardous material in there and you don't have the proper labeling, and then if the cops pull you over and check your truck and you find out you're just lying about that, you're
Yeah.
actually going to get fined a shitload of money. Snakes is the perfect one
Yeah.
because you're not really fucking like there's probably not a lot of laws you're going to be violating. Like there's probably not over regulation on snake transportation, and on
Especially if
top
there is
and
no
on
snakes.
yeah, and well, no, I'm saying more coming from a stance of like, are the cops gonna bother you?
Mhm.
There's not like they probably don't care. There's probably not a lot of state transportation regulation, and a cop's probably not gonna give a shit. Like if they see that you have snakes on your car, the cops are probably gonna be like, I don't want to deal with snakes. Also,
Yeah.
I don't care if he's killing all those snakes. Like your average
Yeah.
your average cop probably doesn't give a shit if you have a trailer full of dead snakes. You know, like
Yeah.
for real, like even if you have a real trailer full of dead snakes. So, yeah, shout out Throwdown. Snake Farmers of America is probably the best thing to ever
Yeah,
put on your
something
fucking thing.
undesirable because again, if even I just now I think about it, even like a septic service or anything like that, they might think there's tools to steal or something. Because like
Yeah.
again, they're just for like I this happened all the time to bands in St. Pete, where I grew up. Like there was it's just kind of a shitty town. Like it's not it's and again it wasn't like motivated because of the band. It wasn't like an attack on the band. It was just the fact that like they parked in the wrong place and they left it unattended too long and somebody broke in and stole all the shit and they had to borrow equipment. Or I think that's the part really, because like you said, even if bands don't have money or insurance or anything like that, like there's still like a level of like, also even if they did, like I don't want to I like my shit. I got my shit how I like it and I have that cool stuff. Like to me,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like I would hate having to use other people's shit or having to get new shit. So
Yeah.
like something like this makes it so much more avoidable. And really, this is the ADT sign in the yard compare like equivalent. Like all you need to do is spend the money, get the professional wrap for your truck or something like that. Get like somebody that has a good vinyl thing that they can put that on there to make it look like a real legit business and
Yeah.
that has no monetary value as far as like the things you have, except for to you and to the specialist that like would purvey
Yeah.
that business. Because otherwise, like you said, wild animal catchers, snake catcher, like animal shit, like always is gonna help. Like something lame, pillow salesman.
Well, you got to look at the hypothetical resale value of what's in your trailer
Right.
because that's actually probably why bands are substantially bigger. They're probably a substantially bigger victim to shit like this because, bro, if you go, you steal a bunch of their equipment, you can go pawn that off super quick and get a bunch of money and like be out of there. Like
Yeah.
you can. It's actually it's like what's the word? It's like genius. What am I trying to fucking say? Like for the person stealing shit, for the
Yeah.
theft,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the stealer.
It's a perfect crime. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a great crime because you can unload the product very quickly. You just have to hold on to it and take it to the pawn shop the next day.
Right. And then
Nine
once
times out of 10, the pawn shop owner doesn't give a fuck where it's coming from.
and I think that was the problem was at once people or like anybody, because again, it's not just homeless people. It's like that's why we're saying like it's anybody. It's just a criminal. It's just either it's a homeless person or
Well,
it's drug addicts.
it could be criminal. It could be your standard criminal just as much as a homeless person because it's actually. I bet you. There's guys that keep an eye out on the concert venues and they
Yeah,
see
well,
where
that's what I was
people.
just gonna say. Yeah, once they find
Yeah,
out where the bands park, once the van is like, it was something about like there was an alley right behind the back door, but then there was also like a road, like there was a parking lot and then the street, and then there was parking on the street. If the bands parked on the street, they were pretty much okay because it was under street lights. But if they left their van in the alley a little bit too long after loading it, it could get hit, like, because it was just out of the way enough that like somebody could come in and smash it. So like a lot of times it would just be like, I feel like every couple weeks there was just like an opening band that was coming through with, whoever it was that was headlining, that would start their set out by saying like, you know hey, so anyway, like earlier today we got our shit was like fucked with, or like, it's like something happened because it, like, they literally, it's just they parked in the wrong, like just the wrong block. It's so
Yeah.
crazy. It was so nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
this is a great
definitely,
idea.
yeah. Shout out to Throwdown. Definitely, yeah. Definitely fucking wrap your goddamn trailer. And I'll say the point again. Make it something that a criminal or a drug addict or a homeless person would not want to go through the effort of reselling. That's like the
Also, something that people won't approach you to to ask about too. Don't just be like, oh, can you help me? Like, no, oh, no, sorry, we're not a real ambulance.
Yeah, dude, don't tour in an ambulance.